What's going on, Taurus? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your 2024 yearly annual predictions reading. So in this reading, Taurus, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the year, look at some things you do not see coming, and also get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding the year 2024. But before we begin this reading, Taurus, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you, Taurus, in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does happen to resonate with you, Taurus, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. But without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy and we'll see what is coming your way for 2024, Taurus. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Taurus. See what we got here for you, Taurus. There's definitely something coming through, Taurus, about being careful of saying something foolish to someone that you care about, even if you know it's the thing that's going to help them. You know, there's definitely something about, there could be something that you say that you kind of like have been holding back for a long time to someone, and there's just something about being really careful about that, or how you choose to bring someone's shadow to their own consciousness. It's like there's something coming through about that. But before we get into the tarot, Taurus, let's go ahead and start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe. And this is the energy that you need more of, the energy that spirit wants you to embody in 2024. And the first one you have is disguise. And so this is Gemini energy. Okay, so there could be a Gemini that you're connecting to that you need more of. You know, Gemini is really good at seeing both sides of the coin, seeing two different, sides of the perspective. But the disguise card is definitely something about blending in a social setting is going to be important for you. And, like I said, I don't want to say that you're going to tone yourself down this year, but the universe is advising you to kind of like, I'm just getting a visual of like a slow, like the tortoise and the hare. Like, the story of the tortoise and the hare, how the tortoise eventually wins the race because it's just slow and consistent. With the disguise energy, in what you need more of here, Taurus, I feel like there's something to do with just like slowly observing your environment rather than trying to enact any sort of big change, and just kind of like taking in wisdom in the background, being a fly on the wall. For some sort of reason, it's really important. Now, for those of you that have something that you need to hide for whatever reason, there's definitely something about this card is like the best hiding spot is in the middle of town. You know what I mean? Like the best hiding spot is hidden in plain sight. And you can kind of see this idea expressed in the movie 8 Mile, where like Eminem, where he's about to like get dissed or whatever in a rap battle, and he starts calling out himself and kind of poking fun at himself. And it kind of changes the energy dynamic, where instead of, him trying to disguise his flaws, he kind of, morphs himself into the environment and does something clever. So being clever, and some people would say that this is a manipulative energy, the disguise energy. So be aware that people may be trying to blend in around you and not show you their true colors, could be going on. But I feel like there's something here about the tortoise and the hare. And instead of like trying to insert yourself and be so different, there's something you're going to gain from just sitting back this year in social environments. You also have the wisdom card, which is really about organized thought in action. And because you have the disguise and the wisdom, I do feel like there's going to be something about you needing to, or at least this is what the universe is suggesting, for you to disguise your wisdom, particularly because there's some sort of relationship that is very important for you to be around this person this year, or to be around this group of people. And there's something about you can see right through their shadow. But there's something about you're going to have to disguise the way in which you bring wisdom to the table, Taurus, because there's a danger here that I sense of you being able to see some sort of shadow that maybe you prefer to change, but you're holding it in for such a long time that it might like just burst open, because Taurus is like the bull that, like, when unprovoked, you can be one of the most fun-loving, sensual, pleasurable energies of Taurus, but once you get provoked, it's like the bull comes out. Mess with the bull and you get the horns. And I feel like there's some sort of key relationship, one-to-one, that you're meant to be around this year, to where it's almost like you're going to burst with wisdom at the wrong moment for a lot of you, and it's going to terminate a relationship prematurely that was meant to be in your life from a higher level, is what I'm sensing. So in some sort of way, and especially in your relationships, finding clever ways to disguise your wisdom for the highest benefit of the person that you're dealing with, okay, is what I really feel. And like, when we're dealing with people who are like disassociated or like really mentally unstable, it's like the way to get them to change is to meet them in that reality. Don't be like, no, you're crazy, listen, we're going to come in with we're going to shoot you up, we're going to electroshock you to get you out of this crazy mess. No, you have to meet the person where they are, and then take them out of it from there. And then they can realize that they were dealing with a dissociative illusion. So there's definitely something, and you have something, it's almost like you have the one cure, the panacea for very key people in your life. This could be family, people that you're around. I'm not sure who it is. We'll see. But there's something about disguising the wisdom that you need as well. And there's also something about, never appear too perfect. Could be something, this is about sitting back and knowing that you have the answers, but don't be quick to say it in the wrong moment. Be careful of that, Taurus. Now, the wisdom card also has to do with authoritative counsel and guidance. And so this year, I feel like a lot of you are going to be sharing your wisdom in more of an authoritative way, that people view you as a respected teacher or someone who has a lot of wisdom. And I just sense an event occurring that could break that wisdom spell that you have, that you need to have on someone for them to receive. Because here's the thing. In order to really receive wisdom from the universe, from a master, you have to fully be in the yin, in the feminine. You have to be fully open and receptive to it. And I feel like there's something that you have to teach someone this year, or something that other people have to teach you, that some sort of trigger point of a behavior that does not entail wisdom and grace and patience is going to wreck that relationship. And so I don't want to see that happen. Okay. Now, to continue, we also have the jackalope in reverse, which has to do with belief and your thoughts and your imagination. So belief, make sure that your imagination is not running wild this year. With the belief card in reverse, it's trying to get more grounded, Taurus, in some sort of way, because there's something about you, and now this is a different subject from what we were just discussing. It could be interrelated for some of you, but there's something about you just escaping into fantasy, seeing the world as you would want it to be rather than as it is, because it's just easier. And there's something about the dense, cold reality of the world that it's just much easier to kind of sink into a fantasy world. It's like the idea of like a musician out there who doesn't ever want to release that first song because the reality of who they are as an artist might hit. It's much easier to never release any music and be the world's #1 artist in your own head, right? Something like that. So make sure that and the solution to this is to ground that imaginative world, or whatever you're fantasizing about, you got to find a way to make it real. And you can this year, is what I'm really feeling. And also disguising your own wisdom in order to build your foundation in a healthy way is important. Now, let me give you an example of what I'm sensing. When I dropped out of college, I moved to Las Vegas, and I was renting a room in a house. Of a wonderful Chinese family. And basically, I was doing a lot of healing work at the time, and, they would hear me in my room working with people one-on-one. Maybe I was getting into really out there esoteric subjects, and I could tell that it was making them really uncomfortable, but, I wanted to, like, be a good guest in the house. I needed to be there. And so what I did was I disguised my wisdom to where, basically, it was to the point of, like, they asked me what I was doing, and I was like, oh, I'm playing, like, Final Fantasy for. Like, people, like, the spirituality that I was doing, the work that I was doing was so out there that it passed as a Final Fantasy video game. So disguise your wisdom in some sort of way at certain points in life. This is just would be the wise thing to do. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Your opportunity this year is the Queen of Wands, Taurus. And the Queen of Wands is definitely, radical, individual, eccentric, and doesn't care what people think. It's good for business as well. So although you have this disguise card as well, you're definitely going to be really tapping into your own unique authenticity this year. That is your opportunity in some sort of way. And this also is, like, I feel, instead of being lost in the dream world, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Cups, no, you're meant to be the Queen of Wands this year, or the King of Wands if you're more masculine. And really, the fire is the spirit, but it's some sort of grounded spiritual energy. Like, when we think of the sign Aries, it's like, it's fire, but it's grounded. And I feel like that's what your opportunity is, to ground your inspiration into some sort of tangible product that can uplift people, in some sort of way, is what I feel. So we're going to have to clarify why that's there in a moment. I'm not really sure fully. When it comes to your challenge, you have the Seven of Swords here in your challenge. And the Seven of Swords has to do with, subversive behavior, scheming, plotting, behind the back, activity. And, so with this being in your challenge here, make sure that you don't do anything that you would later regret in terms of cheating or taking a short path in life or taking the easy road. Now, for some of you, there may be a relationship that is quite dangerous that you need to remove yourself from before you get hurt here, okay, is what I feel with the Seven of Swords being here. Now, with the Queen of Wands being your opportunity, and the Seven of Swords being in your challenge as well, this is a little bit of a fiery conflict energy when it comes to 2024. So, and this could lead to drama over, there could be a little bit of drama over fiery, lack of loyalty or something like that. And really what I see, like, as the Seven of Swords, it could really be something going on behind your back, like lack of loyalty. And, we're going to see what it's connected to in a moment when we clarify. But as Taurus, one of the most loyal signs out there, you could really be betrayed, or you could have some sort of a challenging experience of, like, someone was around you for the wrong reasons, is what I honestly sense. So let's just go to your overall general energy now, Taurus. In your overall general energy, you have the Eight of Wands, the Fool, and also the Six of Swords here. So I really feel like in the beginning of the year, there's a fast new beginning coming in for you in the beginning of 2024. Some of you have probably already met this person, and I feel like this is someone that you're going to travel with. I'm not sure why. Or there could be about a relationship coming in 2024 that you need to travel to get to this person. But there could also be someone I'm predicting that you're going to meet in 2024 that you're going to be traveling with around the world, or you're going to move to somewhere with this person, okay? But I am predicting in the beginning of the year, so like from now until the summer, there's definitely a new relationship coming in fast for you. And it may be a life-changing one, is what I feel here, Taurus. So this could also be, a relationship that's developing very fast that isn't meant to be thrown off through some sort of unnecessary disagreement, is what I honestly feel. And this is what I was picking up in the beginning of the reading. Like, there's something developing, happening, whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person, Taurus, but there's a development happening as you're listening to this in the beginning of 2024, really happening fast, that it's almost like you're at this point where something can mess it up. This could be a work opportunity for some of you, or it could be a love opportunity for some of you. And, with the disguise card and the wisdom, it's like there's something about not unnecessarily messing this up in some sort of way. I predict that as well, a lot of you are going to be living finally in a new location this year, or you're going to be taking a vacation for the first time or something like that. Like, there's definitely something coming through, Taurus, about 2024, about your physical location, and a lot of travel opening up for you, because, the Eight of Wands, Fool, and the Six of Swords, the one thing they all have in common is new, but it's also to do with communication and travel. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of that this year for you. So just be aware of that. And, with the Seven of Swords being in your challenge, this can be kind of self-sabotage sometimes, or you shooting yourself in the foot. So I don't know. We're going to have to see what it's about in a moment. When it comes to what you don't see coming as well, there could be some sort of immature person that you need to really move on from this year, is what I feel. You have the Three of Swords, the Judgment, and the Page of Cups. There's definitely a shift of consciousness around immaturity, and potentially something that's really heartbreaking and like noteworthy. But it has to do with immature energy, and my intuition, Taurus, is telling me that it's somehow connected to the Seven of Swords in your challenge. And I'm not getting that this is necessarily attached to the main storyline that I'm getting of a very fast relationship coming in. In what you don't see coming, I feel this is something different. This is some sort of relationship that may be being ripped out of your life, that was not meant to be there. Something about someone's being so immature that you have to remove yourself before you get hurt and spaz out, right? Remember, the reason that you need disguise and that you need wisdom here is definitely having to do with a relationship that I feel like you care about this person. This could be a family member or a friend, not necessarily a lover. But there's something about you need to remove yourself, disguise your wisdom before you get hurt in this relationship any more than you do. There could be something about you not being validated and recognized for who you are in relation to what in the situation that I'm now referring to. The Queen of Wands and your opportunity. I feel like there's someone around you. This could be family, friends, people that you work with that are saying you're too much. But you're saying you're judging me, but yeah, who's the one judging though? And what does that say about them? So I feel like someone that could have hurt your self-esteem, and this is actually what it's coming through as mainly, someone who has hurt your self-esteem that you're connected to in like 2023 or in the past. It's like, instead of letting that damage you, you're going to be saying, well, why am I going to internalize this person's judgments of me? Who's judging? And I see there being a situation where you finally disconnect from someone who you perceive to be as immature, or is not worth your loyalty, honestly. Okay? But even in that situation, Taurus, I still suggest that you disguise your wisdom in some sort of way. And you don't need to kick someone when they're down or, something along those lines, Taurus, is what I honestly feel. So, very interesting stuff. Now, let's continue to your advice from Spirit. Your advice is very, very spiritual, okay? And it's the High Priestess, the Hanged Man, and the Hermit. So this is all about completely going in within yourself and not necessarily relying on anyone for your truth besides your own being. This has to do with intuition, a moment of enlightenment, and deep reflection is your advice. And this is very related to, not only the Believe card in reverse, maybe of looking at the ways that your spiritual life is actually not spiritual and it's compartmentalized, and in some sort of way with the Queen of Wands being in your opportunity, you're meant to ground spirituality this year. And so I feel like there's a shift in perspective as to the way that you relate to the yin, the feminine, kind of the inner world is definitely changing here, Taurus. And there's something about this Wisdom and the Disguise card that is really connected to this, where I feel like there's going to be in 2024 a major shift in your consciousness about how you portray yourself in a more cool, calm, collected, and wise way. The Hermit, the Hanged Man, and the High Priestess are all gentle energies. There's nothing here about taking the bull by the horns in your advice. It's all about, maybe holding back what you have to say, being mysterious, blending in, and kind of retreating into yourself for the answer. This is your advice from Spirit. And this may be triggered by an event in the outside world having to do with another person that's very distasteful. Your opportunity, the Queen of Wands. Your challenge, the Seven of Swords. Drama and conflict over authenticity and passion. And this is saying, the only place to search is within, is what I really feel. And healing as well is definitely occurring at a psychological level. You're almost flowering now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start clarifying this reading, Taurus, and see what's going on. So the first energy that I want to clarify is why the Queen of Wands is your opportunity this year. Let's go ahead and see why the Queen of Wands is your opportunity. The could be a passionate relationship coming in for you as well. But yes, and it's meant to be in your life for a long time. Hold on. I feel like whoever you're dealing... Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, Taurus. There's definitely something about someone is in your life right now in a romantic setting, or they will be in like the first quarter of 2024, that is meant to be in your life for a long time, and you have to avoid the unnecessary differences of opinions that will rip you apart from this person. It could be a political belief that separates you two. It could be a sexual preference, some sort of heavy hitter topic, philosophical, moral differences, but you're still meant to be around them. I don't know. The Queen of Wands in your opportunity, is the Knight of Pentacles and the Justice card. The first thing is the person that you're meant to take it slow with and be around, because it's a very harmonious relationship that you're not meant to lose. Now, there's also something about, once again, with wisdom and disguise being here, there's something about your authenticity and your passion this year is going to be shown in a very slow, gradual way that brings deep satisfaction through the long burn, rather than some sort of short-term, immediate burst of authenticity that isn't really authentic and is more so kind of a cry for help, is what I feel. So be careful that your authenticity isn't pent-up energy that you just want to explode. Be more kind of like very zen this year, because with the Justice card here as well, there's definitely something about you proving someone wrong that has hurt your self-worth in the past, or who has hurt your opinion of yourself, or your belief in yourself, right? And like with the Three of Swords, Judgment, Page of Cups, you're definitely disconnecting from an immature person who doesn't see you for the beauty and the passionate authenticity that you are. And I feel like karma is going to be restored into your life by you being successful. Okay, but what I'm also getting is that there's either a very important romantic relationship that you're in right now, or it's in the first quarter of 2024, that you're either in now, it's coming in soon, that is crucial for you to hold on to for your success. So this is just what I'm getting. And here's the thing, like the Queen of Wands in your opportunity being clarified by the Justice card next to the Knight of Pentacles, your true authenticity is going to come into balance this year, but it's not going to come into balance in the way that you think. Oh my God, I'm going to be lost in my imaginary dream world, and it's going to be pent up, and maybe I'm going to call out someone in one-to-one relationships. No, you have to be more wise. There's something about you really channeling your energy to the correct places, and how much of a difference that can make. And there's just a quote coming to my mind, Taurus, about like victory. When your energy gets poured into the right place, it's like throwing a stone onto eggs. It's like victory is easy as throwing a rock at an egg. That's how easy it is to break the egg and to achieve victory this year for you. But I don't know. I'm just trying to help you through it. Now, let's clarify why the Seven of Swords is in your challenge this year, Taurus. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, it's definitely the thing that I was picking up on right off the bat. The Seven of Swords is clarified by the Lover's card and the Eight of Wands. This has to do, I'm just getting like a pent-up energy that you express into a one-to-one relationship that was meant to be in your life, that you take out your energy in the wrong person, I'm telling you. But even if it's not that, there's definitely something about shooting yourself in the foot when it has to do with wisdom and disguising that wisdom. This also could have to do with the person that you're dealing with here, trying to tell you what to do, or, trying to, something to do with communication. And then you have the Hermit as well. And so I'm just really getting in your challenge here, Taurus. There's definitely something about communication going awry, and you really being careful of what comes out of your mouth and how that can really spoil a relationship that is meant for you. And you have the Two of Swords as well. So yes, I'm telling you, it's something about what I've been saying with this communication thing. I also feel, however, though, that there's a disconnection from you may cut communication off with someone who has bad intentions for you this year, and it may be really challenging for you to do that, right? The Seven of Swords clarified by the Two of Swords, the Lovers, and the Hermit. That's definitely disconnecting from a sketchy love situation, and so it's multifaceted. So let's just continue here, and let's clarify what the Fool is here in your overall general energy. Why is I'm telling you, there's a new beginning with travel. The Fool is right next to the Six of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. There's something about getting away from the potential dirt bags that are surrounding you. No, but I mean, the Three of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles, there may be just like a real hard break from people that kind of shift you into poverty consciousness is what I'm getting. Or, this could be a group of people that you're going to finally... The only way that you would have been able to get away from them is by physically getting away from them. So even if you're not physically moving this year, Taurus, there's something about a hard break from a friend group or from a group of people, a social situation, a social setting, a group that you belong to, that are just wasters. I really feel like there's an element of people that you're still putting up with either in friendship or old friends, or that are just wasters. They have no goals. If you hang around with 5 people who don't care about money, you'll be the 6th person who doesn't care about money. It's not about money. It's about you asking yourself, am I alignment, or is hanging out with these people in alignment with my soul? And I feel like this year, there's going to be an opportunity for you to physically move, to finally break that curse of a group that you've been involved with of just wasters who don't have your values, that maybe you've been being a chameleon in the wrong way, or you've been outbursting. But basically, you also have the Temperance card here. So once again, whatever change that you do decide to make this year, you have to disguise your wisdom in order to not create people who are envious of you, perhaps. Because, it's like, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you know that you're messing up and you're in a relationship with someone who you can just tell is higher vibrational than you. And I've been on the other end of it, you know what I mean? Where like I could tell I was dragging this person down, or I could tell that I was consciously making decisions that were bad, and that I was weighing this high vibrational being down that I was spending time with. And it's like when they chose to end it, and you know that you're in the low vibration, it's almost like you envy that person. You have this like, wow, they're better than me in some sort of way. And like, this is what people are going to be feeling about you. Like when you, Taurus, decide in 2024 to walk away because you're clearly just dealing with a low vibrational thing, they may be trying to act like you're not high vibrational right now, but as soon as you make that hard break, it's going to basically, like, all the energy is going to shift to them in a sort of weird way that I'm sensing. And so, I don't even know where I was going with that, but I'm being taken on these rants. So let's just continue here, Taurus. I'm predicting a lot of physical travel opportunity for that. Also, the break with the immature person. Let's clarify with some of the spiritual energy. Let's clarify where the Hanged Man is here. And there also could be something about a fated connection that you're currently involved in or that's coming in this year that you're not going to miss. It's going to be like, oh my goodness, this is life-changing. Yeah, and you have the Knight of Cups. It may be a real life-changing romance coming in for you this year, Taurus. But once again, there's going to be so many opportunities for it to fall apart. I'm getting through over-communication. And so it's really important, with that disguise and the Wisdom card, trust me, Spirit is always 10 steps ahead of us. So there's a reason why you're going to want to bite your tongue, because there's someone around you that you're meant to be around that I feel wants to lift you up. You're going to know who this person is. You may have some sort of disagreements, but no relationship is perfect. So this is you enacting on that loyalty of the Taurus, but your own energy. But hold on. What? And then, yeah, also releasing someone. Obviously, the Hanged Man in your advice is the Page of Cups to the Tower. In what you don't see coming, Taurus, you already have the Page of Cups to the Three of Swords. This is to do with immature energy. Whether this is to do with a person or not, let me break it down for you. Remember, Taurus, how this is all coming for full circle. You had the Believe card in reverse. Is the energy that you need more of, which is advising you not to get lost in some sort of gullible fantasy, seeing the world with rose-colored glasses, seeing the world the way that you want to see it, seeing people the way you want to. Sorry, Taurus, the camera died. And that's what the Page of Cups is known for. They see the world through a dreamy, they're lost in their imagination. They don't see anything clearly. Everything is wonderful. Listen, the Page of Cups could literally being abused and being like, haha, I guess this is the thing. You know what I mean? And so with this energy here, this is about not getting, I feel like for some of you, it's about disconnecting from an immature person who cannot honor your authenticity. It's just low vibrational the whole other end. For others of you, it goes back to this Believe card in reverse, where if you just decide to see the world as you want to see it rather than it actually is, in a negative way, in an escapism, spiritual bypassy type of way, your own dreams and your own inability to make changes and to potentially move and to completely start new beginnings this year, this is really going to shoot you in the foot, and it's going to get in the way of your dreams. Because the Page of Cups clarified by the Tower, no more over-idealization that leads to pent-up energy and explosions when the truth comes out. And that's why the Disguise and the Wisdom card is here, Taurus, because there's something about, listen, with the advice being the High Priestess, the Hanged Man, and the Hermit. This is all about you trusting yourself going within. However, obviously there are pitfalls. So with that being said, listen, I'm going to conclude this reading. I hope that you enjoyed